I'm Deana Delp. I'm from Tempe, Arizona, and I'm an engineer. My background, I was raised on a farm in Kansas, and so I'm very passionate about engineering education for young children because I had no idea what an engineer did or who they were when I was growing up until I got to college. I had never been around any. And with that, I went on through college and received my PhD in electrical engineering. So I have a great passion of introducing this to young children. I think it's important to introduce students to various things while they're in school. That's why we have the arts and music. But along with our math and science background, I think engineering is important. There's also been a recent initiative to push STEM topics, which includes engineering. And with that, with computational intelligence, it's just another level beyond engineering that students aren't exposed to because it's a higher level topic. But there are concepts within it that the students can grasp and really get excited about engineering and CI topics. Well, I had them, first of all, tell me what they thought an engineer was. And we had a little discussion just about engineering in general. And then we went into more detail about fuzzy logic. And I introduced fuzzy logic to them by talking about membership sets and what they considered was a weekday versus a weekend day. And all of them said, you know, Monday through Friday is a weekday. And I said, how about 3 o'clock on Friday when that bell rings? Does that feel like a weekend or a weekday when you're running out of this school? And they said a weekend. And I said, how about Sunday night when you have to take your bath and get to bed early to get ready for school? How does that feel? So we talked a little bit about memberships. And that was very interesting to the students because these were young students, about age 10 or 11, and their experience with math is very black and white. Either it's correct or it's not. And so they liked being introduced to this fuzzy set of memberships and numbers that we can have. So we had that discussion, and then I had them stand up and we did fuzzy membership sets with height and had them stand from shortest to tallest, and we talked about, you know, for their grade level, who would be tall, who would be short, and then in the general public, who would be considered tall, most of them would be considered short, or versus, say, kindergartners, would they be considered tall and short, and talk about how you can have different membership functions. And then at the end, we looked at a fuzzy egg video and then did a lab with that, with soft-boiled eggs, and they tried to determine if it was correctly cooked, if it was undercooked or overcooked with different sizes of eggs. And they actually got to use little skewers and test the eggs and write it in their science notebooks whether they thought it was done or not, and collect data on the project. They loved it. Children are just little sponges, and anything new like this and a new way, I think they enjoyed having a new way of thinking about math and thinking about numbers, and also being introduced to some more engineering concepts. But they just loved it. They loved having new terminology. I was telling them, you know, these are scientific terms that we actually use, fuzzy logic. So they were going to go home and tell their parents about fuzzy logic and membership sets, and they were so excited to have some tools in their back pocket that their parents wouldn't even understand. But they really enjoyed these concepts. I would say approach it with a lot of energy. Any way you can bring a topic to a classroom and be creative about it, and you showing excitement for it, the kids will be excited about it and enjoy it.